In Scotland, we have one of the highest prison populations. In fact, we have the highest prison population in Western Europe per head of the population. We've got to work on the preventative, right? We've got to early intervention, look at the adverse childhood experiences. Why is it that people that are from deprived communities are more likely to end up in the criminal justice system than somebody from an affluent area? Why is it if you have four aces versus somebody who has 0 or 1 ace, you're so much more likely to end up in prison? We've got to deal with that. On the reducing reoffending side, community payback orders are absolutely fundamental. We know the data, the evidence, the figures, the numbers tell us that community payback orders are much more effective in reducing reoffending.
I don't know what to say.
What?
My missus. Don't know what to say. I expected a custodian. That's how she didn't come to court.
What I've heard, this is just as bad.
Whatever it is, it's better than the jail, mate. I could have lost everything.
We should go something else.
You've obviously not got ways then. Or you wouldn't think like that.
I got sentenced on the 31st of August, 18. I got 300 hours, reduced to 200 hours, which was a result for me really because I was expecting a sentence. My lawyer told me to maybe expect a 12-month sentence for what I'd done. I got 200 hours and I was relieved. I mean, I went to court with a bag prepared for jail, so I was shocked and relieved. Taught a lesson. Yeah, definitely. 100% I've learnt a lesson, a big lesson.
I'm your allocated social worker, so it's my job to help you get through your order and complete your unpaid work hours. Now this is a court order, so it's important you understand the consequences of not engaging. Now I'll go through things in more detail before you leave, but I've been having a look at your court report.
And?
Well, you've a fair amount of experience in the criminal justice system. And would it also be fair to say you've got some underlying issues? I've identified one of our squad placements for you to start your hours tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Well, the sooner the better. If you apply yourself and things go well, we can see a bit of personal placement. Now, is there anything you want to ask me? I know you might not believe this, but I'm here to help you.
You're right.
About what?
I don't believe you. Know what I think this is? Slave labour.
Slave labour. Tam, do you want to stay out of jail? Because if you do, I can help you with that. But only if you'll work with me. Look, how about we see about getting you into employment? Start looking at some of these underlying issues that have got you in trouble in the first place.
What's that supposed to mean?
Alcohol and drugs, for example.
In some cases, the unpaid work case manager might also identify another activity for the client to do. So that might be attending at addictions for an addictions assessment. It might be attending for your GP to have your mental health assessed. It might be attending at the local community casework team to make a referral for your own housing. Whatever issues might be identified could be addressed in part through the use of other activities.
What's this?
Addiction counselling. I'd like you to give them a call and make an appointment.
I don't need a counsellor.
Just so we're clear, part of my expectation is that you will address your problems with drugs and alcohol. What have you got to lose?
Like, for talking's sake, like, family's everything to you, and at the end of the day, you just want to be with your kids, you want to be with your wife, your mates and that kind of stuff in the family, but obviously being in the jail, that's you're no use to anybody. Do you get what I mean?
You've obviously not got wings then, and you wouldn't think like that.
If you'd put that aside, my son wouldn't be coming to visit you.
Your son?
I'm not bringing him up visiting jails. I mean it.
Geese peace, always nagging. You getting in? Right, I'm on my way.
I think for me, the probably stats speak for themselves in terms of a payback order, in terms of a client who's on a payback order, that resulting effect of going through the order as opposed to prison in terms of reoffending rate and where they then go with their lives. And we can evidence in terms of great success of people coming through, going onto our volunteering programme and ultimately stopping reoffending. That's what payback is all about, stopping that recycle of reoffending. You can understand the public perception that, I think, are we ever realistically going to be able to change everyone's mind on that front? Then it's, I think, in terms of whether, while it's always an alternative to custody, it'll always ultimately be seen as a softer option, but from the individual who manages it, who's kind of worked out there and with the squads and the like, and it's certainly not that case. Until the guys out there, they're putting in a shift, they're putting in hard graft, as they kind of call it wise, and I suppose the proof's in the pudding. We're out in the city, we're cleaning up, so that it's certainly not an easy way out.
Great job there, son. Well done. Proud of you.
I think if a judge and a court has decided that this person's crime merits a community payback order, then that's something that the community should go with. If the judge doesn't see them fit to serve a prison sentence, then that's something that we should embrace, and that they're helping local communities save cash and have a nicer area to live.
You were wrong, by the way.
About what?
About me not having children. What a son.
How old?
6 weeks.
Congratulations. So if that's the case, I think you'll find that I wasn't down. You were.
How come?
You said you had nothing to lose.
The story for us would probably be someone who presents with a whole host of issues in their own life, who's maybe came through a difficult childhood, difficult family background, potentially had the experience of social work in their lives growing up, have potentially had some experience of the criminal justice system, maybe been in and out of custody, serving short-term prison sentences, and you can see that there's a whole range of needs that they have that we could support them with. So it might be that they're in and out of homeless accommodation, they've had long-term addiction issues, potentially physical and mental health issues as well. And that community payback order gives us the opportunity to try and put in some supports to help that person move on with their life. It also gives us an opportunity to build a relationship with them and work with them on a one-to-one basis and try and get them to think about what it is that's got them into trouble in the past, what is it that's got them involved in offending behaviour, and think about ways we can avoid that moving forward so that they can move on, get a job, get secure accommodation and contribute to society and see benefits in living a more pro-social lifestyle as opposed to the kind of revolving door, if you like, of being in and out of custody, serving short-term prison sentences.
Remember I told you about that personal placement? Might be an option. The community centre asked if you'd be up for doing a few days a week in a cafe, helping out. It'd be count towards your total hours, look good in your CV.
That's for me?
Listen, you've got people around you who want you to do well, who believe in you. Question is, can you start believing in yourself?
Maybe you're right.
Does Elizabeth know you're here? That you're going to addiction counselling?
Not yet. I've got to see how it goes first.
Yeah, well, when the time's right to tell her, you'll know.
Thanks for coming by, Abby.
It's alright. I want to support you. A happy slave's a productive slave.
Get them in and assess where best to place them. So they may be that it is a squad and that's where they've to go, but I would look at a whole background of things. I would look at the court report, I would look at the previous offences, I would look at their health. Have they been in order before? What was the engagement like? And I would then be looking to see, can we get another placement for them?
How many hours have you got left?
Almost done.
How's the counselling going?
Focus one day at a time. Today's a good day.
Good for you.
Tomorrow might be even better.
How come?
The boss in here's lining me up with a job interview. Concierge.
Yes, well done, mate.
I'll no crack the tea cakes open just yet. I might not get it.
Doesn't matter. For them to offer you a job interview, you must have made a good impression. Regardless of what happens with the interview, just keep doing what you're doing, you'll be fine. Good luck.
Right, brother, any chance of a cup of tea? Community payback orders are so fundamental to a better justice policy because what they do is they ultimately reduce reoffending. I can't hammer that home enough that they're more effective than a short prison sentence. A short prison sentence will disrupt somebody's tenancy, will take them away from their family, will not give them access to rehabilitation programs. And then if they come out of that 6-month sentence or 9-month sentence or whatever it is, they then might not have a house to go back to, the family dysfunctionality, the stigmatisation. It's no surprise that so many of them end up back in the prison system.
Better not tell them you to look up concierge in the dictionary. Just try and stay relaxed and you'll be fine. I'm proud of you. Now, most sheriffs, will of course, all of them will act independently.
But it's so important that everybody understands the shared vision that we're trying to get to here in Scotland of a progressive society that deals with the underlying causes of why people offend. And if we can all believe in that, if we can all get behind that vision, then we all have to work together, from sheriffs to government to CPO practitioners and everybody in between.
No, it felt like a punishment. The CPO did definitely feel like a punishment. It's not something that anybody wants to go through. I wouldn't expect anybody to like to go through a CPO, you know what I mean? But you need to accept responsibility in your actions. It was maintenance, mainly landscaping. We would work in the yard, we would work on benches. It was to go to council parks all about Glasgow. And we would do them up and renew them and put like a name, a connection with somebody. The way I treat life is, you need to look for a positive out of everything. And that's one beneficial factor what I got for it, was I was doing landscaping, I was working with boys, I was communicating with boys, I was getting up early, I was getting into a routine in a sense. So there's definitely beneficial for it.